Step into the shadows with me. Here the line between reality and nightmare blurs and the ordinary twists into the unknown. Tonight you'll hear 5 tales, stories that will haunt your thoughts and challenge what you believe is possible. These aren't just ghost stories, they're warnings from the edge of the explainable. Are you ready to face the darkness because it's waiting for you? Let's start with a scene that feels familiar. A group of friends, bored on a lazy afternoon, decide to play hide-and-seek at Gin's house. Gin's house always felt a bit off. Shadows clung to corners and a chill lingered, even on warm days. But the friends brushed it off, eager for some nostalgic fun. The game began like any other, laughter echoing, hearts racing as everyone scattered to hide. But soon the mood shifted. Gin's playful seeking turned predatory, their voice and movements growing menacing. Red flags became impossible to ignore. The game's innocence was gone, replaced by real fear. In a flash, Gin's true intentions emerged. Violence erupted, and the friends realized they were being hunted. The house became a deadly maze. Alexa and Gavin's terror was real, betrayed by someone they trusted. This tragedy is a chilling reminder. Trust your instincts and never ignore the warning signs, even in the most familiar places. Let's head underground into a place most of us try not to think about, the sewers. Our story centers on a sewer worker alone in the city's underbelly, performing a job few envy. One day he noticed strange noises and patches of iridescent slime, things that didn't belong. Driven by duty and curiosity, he ventured deeper, the darkness growing heavier with every step. Then a monstrous, insect-like creature emerged from the shadows, chitinous, unnatural and terrifying. Paralyzed by fear, he barely managed to escape, his mind reeling from the encounter. An investigation revealed the creature's origin, a reckless scientist's experiment gone horribly wrong. The sewer's secret is a chilling warning. When ambition outruns ethics, the consequences can be monstrous. Some doors are best left unopened, some secrets undisturbed in the darkness. Picture this. A building so creepy, locals whisper about it and daredevils avoid it after dark. Our protagonist, Alex, decides to investigate. Even from the outside, the place radiates a malevolent charm, enough to make your stomach do backflips of dread. Armed with a flashlight and questionable courage, Alex steps inside. The air is thick with dust, decay, and something unnameable. Shadows stretch too far. Every creak sounds like a ghostly sigh. Classic haunted house setup, but it still makes your skin crawl. At the end of a dark hallway waits a single ominous door, scarred, ancient, radiating "do not open" vibes. Suddenly a snake-like man appears, unnaturally fluid, eyes glowing in the gloom. Not a ghost, not a demon, but something far worse. The door creaks open, revealing a swirling, nightmarish realm beyond. Alex feels an irresistible pull, body and soul. Just as all hope seems lost, a monk appears, chanting ancient words that force the entity back and slam the door shut. The threat vanquished, Alex is left shaken, changed, and painfully aware that some doors should never be opened. Makes you wonder what else is lurking just behind the next door. Picture this. You're parked on a quiet street at night, waiting for a friend, or just taking a moment to yourself. It's peaceful, your guard is down, and you're lost in your phone or the hum of the engine. But then, something shifts. The air feels heavier, the shadows outside your car seem to move, and a prickle runs down your neck. You glance up, and that's when you see him. A shadowy figure lingering by the alley just at the edge of your vision. He's not just passing by, He's standing there watching, and your instincts start to scream that something isn't right. Suddenly he steps from the shadows and begins walking directly toward your car. Slow, deliberate, eyes fixed on you. Panic sets in. Your heart hammers. Your car feels like a trap. You fumble for the keys, desperate to get away before he reaches your window. Tires squeal as you speed off, glancing back to see him standing motionless under the streetlight, his intentions forever unknown. Sometimes the scariest moments are the ones that leave you wondering what could have happened. Trust your gut. Stay vigilant. Now let's shift gears a bit. Imagine working side by side with someone every day. You're a police officer, and this colleague, let's call him Officer Y, is just part of the team. He's there for roll call, he does his patrols, he files his reports. Maybe he's quiet, maybe he's personable, maybe he's even the guy who always brings donuts on Fridays. The point is, he's woven into the fabric of your daily life. A known quantity, someone you implicitly trust because, well, he wears the same badge you do. He's one of the good guys, right? That's the assumption, the bedrock of camaraderie in a profession like law enforcement. You've probably shared countless hours with Y stakeouts in cramped cars, complaining about paperwork, grabbing a quick greasy burger between calls. You've relied on him in tense situations, trusted him to have your back, just as he's trusted you. These are the bonds forged in shared experience, often under high-stress conditions. You might know about his family, his hobbies, his pet peeves, or maybe he's more reserved, keeping his personal life separate. Either way, he's a colleague, a fixture in your professional world, and the thought that he could be anything other than what he appears simply doesn't cross your mind. It's just, why? Looking back, were there any signs? Any little quirks or offhand comments that seemed odd at the time, but now, in retrospect, scream red flag? Perhaps a certain proficiency in hand-to-hand combat that seemed a little polished for standard police training. Or maybe an unnerving calmness in truly dangerous situations, a stillness that bordered on something else. It's easy to play detective with hindsight, of course. More often than not, people with profound secrets are masters of the mundane, blending in seamlessly, their hidden depths carefully concealed beneath a veneer of absolute normality. Then one day the ordinary cracks. It might start with a hushed conversation overheard in the captain's office, or an urgent cryptic summons from internal affairs. Maybe it's a piece of intel from a street informant that initially sounds too outlandish to be true. Whatever the catalyst, a shadow of doubt begins to fall over Officer Y, a whisper that suggests the man you thought you knew, the colleague you trusted, might be a complete stranger, harboring a past so dark and dangerous it could blow your entire precinct apart. The ground beneath your feet is about to become very, very unstable. And then the bomb drops. The information, when it finally comes, is staggering, almost unbelievable. Officer Y, your colleague, your brother in blue, is not who he says he is, or rather he is than who he says he is. The revelation hits you like a physical blow. Y has a past, a deeply entrenched history with one of the most notorious organized crime syndicates in the world, the Yakuza. The words themselves seem alien when associated with the man you share a locker room with. Yakuza. It's a label that conjures images of brutal violence, intricate tattoos, and a rigid, unforgiving code of honor. The manner in which this truth surfaces could be anything from a meticulously compiled internal affairs dossier complete with surveillance photos and wiretap transcripts, to a sudden, undeniable piece of evidence linking Y to ongoing Yakuza activities. Perhaps a former associate, now an informant, gives him up. The shock isn't just about the deception, it's about the sheer audacity of it, the ability of someone to maintain such a profound double life, especially within the very institution dedicated to upholding the law. How long had he been hiding this? How deep did the deception run? These questions claw at your mind. The implications are immediate and terrifying. If Y is or was Yakuza, what does that mean for the cases he's worked on? Were investigations compromised? Was sensitive information leaked? Is he a plant, a mole who infiltrated the department for sinister purposes? The trust that underpins any police force is shattered. Every past interaction with Y is now cast in a new, sinister light. Was his friendship a lie? Were his acts of camaraderie just part of an elaborate charade? The sense of betrayal is profound, cutting deeper than just professional disappointment. It feels personal. Your own mind becomes a battleground. Part of you wants to deny it, to find an explanation, any explanation that doesn't involve Y being a hardened criminal. This is someone you've stood shoulder to shoulder with, someone whose life you might have depended on, and vice versa. But the evidence, if it's compelling, is impossible to ignore. The fear is palpable now, not just for the integrity of the department, but for your own safety. If Y is truly Yakuza, he's not just a disgraced cop. He's a potentially very dangerous individual, trained in violence and beholden to an organization that doesn't forgive betrayal or exposure. The decision is made. Y must be confronted, apprehended, but how do you approach a man who you now suspect is a highly skilled, potentially ruthless operative of a notorious crime syndicate, who also happens to know all your procedures, all your tactics? The air in the precinct is thick with tension, a mixture of disbelief, anger, and a heavy dose of fear. Plans are laid, precautions are taken, but everyone knows this is uncharted territory. You're not just arresting a fellow officer, you're potentially walking into a hornet's nest with a very dangerous hornet at its center. The confrontation, when it happens, is explosive. Perhaps they try to bring him in quietly, a discreet summons to the captain's office that goes sideways the moment Y realizes the jig is up. Or maybe it's a more direct approach, a planned takedown that he anticipates. Whatever the scenario, Y doesn't go quietly. The colleague you knew, the one who complained about coffee and shared jokes, vanishes, replaced by someone else entirely, a fighter, cold, efficient, and utterly committed to escape. The ensuing struggle is brutal, a chaotic blur of motion and violence that underscores just how badly everyone underestimated him. In the chaos and the aftermath, Y is gone. He slips through their fingers, disappearing as if he were a ghost. Maybe he uses his knowledge of police procedure against them, or perhaps he has resources, escape routes that no one anticipated. One thing is clear, the man who was Officer Y has vanished, leaving behind a trail of questions, broken trust, and possibly injured colleagues. The precinct is left reeling, forced to confront the uncomfortable truth that one of their own was a wolf in sheep's clothing, a carefully constructed lie that has violently unraveled. The search for him begins, but it's a search for a man who has proven he is a master of evasion. This whole ordeal serves as a chilling reminder of how the past, no matter how deeply buried, can claw its way to the surface with devastating consequences. How well do we ever truly know the people we share our lives with, even those we trust implicitly? Y's story is a testament to the hidden lives people can lead, the secrets they can carry. His current whereabouts, his ultimate fate, and the full extent of his infiltration, these become the new disturbing, unsolved elements. The Yakuza revelation isn't just a case file, it's a scar on the department, a constant nagging question about who you can really trust when the lines blur so dramatically. In the end, these stories remind us of one thing: fear is never far away. Sometimes the real monsters aren't hiding under your bed or lurking in the shadows. They're much closer than you think, maybe even right beside you. Sleep well, if you can.